Hello, everyone. The lecture today is going to be on foundations of a successful partnership. We are going to start out by talking about teacher ideas and attitudes. And the first one we're going to discuss is the concept of professional. Being able to work professionally with your families and parents and students that you're working with. Being able to have the correct distance with them, but being acceptable to having a partnership to work with them. You want to share that partnership and that power to make it feel like you guys are having a partnership. The families that you work with should be a solution and not a problem. You also want to have a sense of self. This is going to be our next one we talk about. You need to know your strengths and weaknesses and values, and then use them. Work collaboratively with your coworkers on their weaknesses, and then use your strengths as your powerful things that you can use collaboratively with your parents. Be authentic with yourself. Know what your value and your worth is and what abilities that you're strong with. Also, you need to believe in oneself. If you believe in yourself, it will come across that way to your parents that you believe in yourself. If you seem unsure about your teaching, your parents that you work with and the families you work with will pick up on that. The next one we're going to talk about is humility. Be able to wait and listen. You want to wait and listen and not expect a quick response back from your parents. Let them have time to take it in. You also want to be approachable. You want your parents and families to feel like they can talk to you about anything and not be concerned or worried to talk with you. Also, you need to do more of the talking. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I said that backwards. You need to do more of the listening than the talking. Also, be willing to say why not and not shoot down their ideas or their requests. That doesn't mean you have to say yes right away. That just means take into consideration their request and think about it and tell them, okay, why not? Let's just try something like that, or make it work in your classroom, but keep their request in consideration. The next one we're going to talk about is compassion. Attempt to understand your parents. Empathize with them. You don't have any idea what they're going through or what kind of day they had, just as the same that they don't with you. You want to empathize what they're going through. You're also going to experience several different types of backgrounds, cultural backgrounds. There will be differences for sure, and you need to be able to be genuine about that and be open. For example, they may have different holidays they celebrate than you do in the classroom. So you need to be open to honoring their wishes. Be compassionate about it. Support them. The next one is to respect for others. You need to be respectful to their knowledge, to their experience, to their expertise. Be respectful if they want to help out in a certain way because they feel like they have something to add to it. Don't shoot them down, but listen to them and have respect for what they're trying to help you with, possibly. Treat families that you work with in your classroom with dignity. Respect should be encouraged, but it also should be encouraged both ways, mutually, meaning they need to respect you and you need to respect them in the classroom. And if you want respect, then you need to give it to get it back in return. The last one we're going to talk about on this is trustworthiness. Your families need to be able to build a relationship with you and trust you. They don't want to be let down by you or not think that what you're telling them about their child is the truth. Try to follow as much ethics you can. Follow the ethical codes. Mutual trust goes a long way in this, just like respect. If they know that they can trust you, they're more than likely they're going to trust. If they know they can trust you, then you can trust them, and vice versa. Having an open line of communication with them. Don't just talk to them once in a while or when it's convenient. but be trustworthy that when they need you, you're going to communicate with them. And also, privacy is really big here. They need to trust that what they tell you is going to be kept private. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is partnership between home and school. There's a lot with this. Here is 4 important elements of it, which is creating a two-way communication, meaning they need to talk with you and you need to talk with them. Enhancing learning at home and at school. Provide them with options of things how they can learn at home, whether that's resources or online resources or just information you can send home, along with enhancing that learning at school. Providing mutual support. And we talked about that on the last slide, giving the support mutually from both sides of it. Making joint decisions. They want to feel included in the decisions. They don't want you just to make all the decisions for them. They will value and trust you a lot more if they feel that you are including them in their child's education. All right, the next thing we're going to discuss is external factors for successful partnership. The first one we're going to talk about is administrative support system. This is very necessary. You need to have a good relationship with your administration. You need to get the proper training. This will help the partnership even with your families and within the community as well. There needs to be assistance, motivation, appreciation from the administration, and that's mutual on both sides as far as the appreciation. You need to coordinate plans to work with families. You need to be able to lean on them and get support when you need help. I know that I feel I can go to my administration when I have an issue with a family or a parent that I just need some support or backup on, or helpful hints, or vice versa. You need to have that support system to be able to go to. Communication time. Time to talk freely. Be flexible. Some parents, it's just not feasible for them to come and talk to you during the day, or to talk to you when it's your hours of 8 to 3 or 8 to 5, whenever your facility is open. This may be a parent that works till 7 o'clock every night, and that, maybe once in a while you will need to check in with them after. But having the administrative support will help as well with being flexible for things like evening conferences or compensatory time for work that you've done after those hours. Work with businesses, have a good relationship with the businesses, because you'll have parents of your children that work at those businesses, and they'll be more flexible to work with you so that so the parents can leave work for 15 minutes for a conference, or vice versa, you guys can work together. The next one on the list is variety in family involvement. Let them choose when, where, and how they help out with their child's classroom. Don't give them limited options. Okay, you can come on Monday at 1 o'clock, and that's the only time you can help out. That limits a lot of people with their real jobs, or just anything they have going on in their life. That may not be a time where they don't have their other kids with them or something. So try to ask them what works for them and try to be flexible. Give options. Hand out a survey. Let them choose from, ask for their feedback and let them have choices to let them know how they can help out in the room, so that if they want to be involved, they can be involved. The next one on the list is information. Information will be very important. Giving them some type of physical paper copy will be important, because when you give it to them all at the beginning of the year, it's a lot to soak in, and they need to have something that they can refer back to. Parent handbooks are great for this. Informational packets, a brochure, just anything that they can stick in their drawer that they have at home at the beginning of the year, that they can open it back out if they need to. And that's okay if they never have to look at it again, but it's nice that they have that resource should they need to go and look at it. Page 159 in your book is very helpful with this. It has a lot of details about your handbooks that you guys can make as an option for your classroom. The next one on the list is family-friendly environments. You want to create not only your classroom, but you want to make the building look inviting. Parents want to walk in and be oohed and awed, even if they're just walking in really quickly to drop off a student or a child. They want to feel that their children is kind of a second home to them. The classroom should be bright and inviting for them to have good centers to work in, comfy spots to sit in, and lots of student work put up, things like that. It will appear very friendly to the parents that are even in the ones in the hurry. You want something to catch their eye. Also with this, even in your environment, a warm, friendly smile can go a long way too to that environment when they're taking their kids to school. And lastly on this slide is communication skills. Clarity with this is very important. Listening and speaking in a caring way. Having a smile on your face. Eye contact just can play a big part. There's a lot of nonverbal ways you can do that. Eye contact, smiling, nodding that you're listening, and responding with some type of response to let your parents know that you're understanding with what they're communicating with you. And definitely more listening than speaking. You want them to feel like they've been heard. All right, if you have any questions on this chapter, talking about the foundations, then let me know.